Obviously, Lionel Messi is one of the names that everybody talks about, who was a product of the academy. You came through kind of around the same time. Were you there before him, or did he come in after you?
He came at 12. I was there 2 or 3 years before him.
Okay. Do you remember when he first arrived, and did he make an immediate impact in terms of everybody knowing this is kind of that once-in-a-generation type player, or did that come with time?
Yeah, no, straight away. I remember the first day he came, because he sat right next to me, and they told us that there is this boy coming from Argentina making a trial, and he'll be with us for a couple of weeks. But yeah, he had immediate impact, because he didn't speak a word. He was super shy. He sat down. We were a good group, I have to say, in that generation. And after that, on the pitch, he started talking straight away, very, very fast. I always tell that story, that there was 1-against-1 situations, and at the beginning of the training. And I was quite good defending 1-against-1 at that age. After, when I grew up, not so much. But when he was facing me, you see a small boy, because he was really, really tiny. He came straight up to me, and straight away, with the speed that he came at me and the control of the ball, you definitely, at the beginning, the first second, you said, wait, this guy, something is wrong, because normally you take a touch, it's a bit heavier, or you take it with the right, and you know straight away what he's trying to do. With him, he had the ball stuck to his feet. He was coming at a speed that is not normal. And then straight away, I fell on the floor. I tried. He did the typical feint that he goes to the right and he goes to the left. I went on the floor. And since that moment, I started to say, hold on a second, this guy could be special. And after that, of course, because he was not so big, some players, some opponents were taking him on the floor a little bit. Sometimes, I remember one day, after 20 minutes, he scored 3 goals. They started smashing him on the floor, and then the coach changed him. Things like this used to happen, but then after at 15, 16, he kind of grew up. He made himself really, really strong, and that was when Leo started to be a proper machine, because he was unstoppable. Before, because of his physique, you could put him on the floor, you could punish him, in a way. Then when he got stronger on his legs, there was no way back.
Well, I think Barcelona have many strengths, don't they? And it's going to be very difficult for Tottenham. The obvious one is Lionel Messi. Personally, I think he's the greatest player that's ever played the game of football, and he's still performing wonderfully well, still scoring a goal a game, still beating all the teams, scoring great free kicks, great passing. So he's obviously the forefront, I think, in terms of what Spurs have to do to try and stop Barcelona, but it's a very difficult thing to stop. I think everyone knows what a huge fan of Messi I am. I always have been. I think he's the best player that's ever donned a pair of football boots. I think when I watch him play, I still am bewildered by so many of the things he does. It's almost as though he watches the game of football from above while playing it at the same time. And that is staggering. People look at goal scoring records, but it's not just about that. Yes, he scores about a goal a game, and perhaps 1 or 2 other players do similar things. But besides that, he's also the best dribbler I've ever seen. He's the most imaginative footballer I've ever seen. He's the most skillful footballer I've ever seen. And he's one of the best passers the game has ever seen. So if you put all those things together, you have someone who, frankly, is clearly not a human being. I don't think Messi's game has changed too much in recent seasons. I think he manages himself quite well on the field of play. I still think he's doing similar things that he's always done. He's always been a team player. He doesn't play selfishly. These are other attributes that he has that, he doesn't play at, he doesn't dive, he doesn't retaliate. And all round, he's such a great example for football, and he sets such a good example for young children to follow. That there's so much to like about him.
You said it was a young Messi when you was there at Barcelona at these times. Did you see greatness immediately?
Oh yeah, in training. In training.
Give me some examples.
In training, he was able to make us suffer, if you can say that. Like getting the ball, sometimes we have to be able to go on our two on him. and it was incredible because I remember one time we were training. It was like the 6v6 small side of the pitch, and the training was pressing, high pressing, and the half of the pitch just passed me so easy, don't even touch the ball because he drive the ball and he was able to pass us so easily, and after that, when we get in the dressing room, some of the player was trying to love it about that, but he was saying, okay, we try to find a way to, what I mean, saying he's too small, it's easy for him to get it because he have the agility. We have to go down and just try to contract with him, but he's always difficult to play against him.
He's gone on to do crazy stuff. Like was that expected of him within Barcelona?
In 2007, my first year in Barcelona, it was very, very tough in terms of game, in terms of winning. We have to win. We have to, because the team was complete, because in that period was Deco there, Ronaldinho there, and I see Ronaldinho always behind him, try to protect him. In terms of when opponent want to beat him up or smash him up, he always get in there. Not only Ronaldinho, even Eto'o as well, even Thierry as well. Some period as well was doing that, because everyone was protecting him because we know he was a talented player, and we know it was a gold for this club. And for us, sometimes when he get injury, it was difficult because he was willing at time when team was able in that period to press Barcelona. We give him the ball. He's already job done. We're happy when we face opponent will press us higher.
Yeah. Because
when they press us higher, it's like coming 1v1, and we straight away don't thinking try to give him the ball. Anyway he's. But after that, when we play team, we start to play team where they wait us a little bit behind in the middle of the park. It's coming difficult because we have to take the ball and forward to him is quite demanding. But anyway, Messi is Messi.
I think being here in the stadium that we're building for the city and we're building for our fans and building for the club is already so special. And to now have Leo sign a new contract, be here, for the next few years is even more special. You build a stadium and you expect people to come. You bring in someone like Leo, a few years ago, like we did, and then you have him stay for the rest of his career. That says something about the club, it says something about the city, but what it says is about Leo's commitment. The fact that Leo loves the city, he loves Miami, he loves playing in the MLS, he loves being in Miami and loves this club. It's a very special moment for us. Our vision was always to bring the best players into Miami, into this city. And that's exactly what we've done. We've brought the best player to ever have played the game into our city. So that shows our commitment to Miami, but it shows Leo's commitment to the city. It shows Leo's commitment to the club, and it shows Leo's commitment to the game. He loves the game more than most players. And, the fact that he is now here for a few more years, it's very special. I think, you build a stadium like this and you want an experience for the fans. You want an experience for the players. You have to think about every single element that goes into this stadium. In the stands, behind the stands, outside the stadium, on the field, which is the most important thing. And you have to have an experience. But the experience is Leo. You put Leo on a pitch, that's the experience that the fans want. And we're very lucky to have someone not just of Leo's caliber on the field, but the fact that he cares off the field as well. And that's the most important thing. One of the greatest players, if not the greatest player to ever play the game, he's still committed, still wants to win, and that is an incredible asset for us to have as owners, to have a player that loves the game as much as he does. We feel very lucky.
The state of soccer, you talked about like you like what Messi's doing, obviously bringing it. You were part of that as well, coming over and playing in the MLS.
Yeah,
Obviously, David
2010,
Beckham,
yeah.
all the stars.
Ibrahimovic came, Steven Gerrard, Frank Lampard, Pirlo. I'm not going to name them all.
Wayne Rooney scored one from 50 yards out.
Exactly. No, but I think, like I said, bringing awareness is always a plus. And when you have those guys coming in the league, I mean, when you have the world best player in the world, obviously, you have Messi in your league. I think that's the first time. What I mean by the world best is he is actually the one that has a title.
The Ballon d'Or.
So, yeah, the Ballon d'Or, or he won obviously the FIFA, the best event. So you have this guy in your league, and I mean, he's a freak. I played with him at Barcelona, and he's something special.
How come everybody cooks the MLS? Like when Messi comes and plays well, wasn't he doing that to everybody else as well, or is the MLS actually like when you came over here? Was it better or worse than you thought it was going to be?
Look, first and foremost, if we talk about Leo has been doing it everywhere. So it's not about a thing about the MLS. Leo still scored goals in the national team. He was scoring goal for Paris Saint-Germain, won the league with Paris Saint-Germain, won the World Cup recently, as you saw. So it's not about a thing of the MLS. I mean, Leo is really just unstoppable. Wherever he goes, he will score goals.
Okay,
no matter
good.
what.
Thank you.
There's nothing to do